Amen. What it is. This is Dean, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. Y'all already know the Cash App, man. $ Dean by any means. Y'all know the PayPal at Dean by any means. You see that heart with the $? Well, that's the Cash App. You could press that at any time your heart desires. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Is Tank ducking Lamont Roach? Yes. Is Jake Paul versus Tank trash, in my opinion? Yes. The problem with everybody that I kind of got an issue with is what else you want us to say? What else would you all really sit up here and like for me to say besides that he's ducking Lamont Roach and that him and Jake Paul is not a fight that I would like to see and I think it's trash because I don't watch none of Jake Paul fights. That's not going to start today because Gervonta Davis is fighting him. But the difference is between me and a lot of y'all, the biggest difference is that I could say it and just move on. Y'all can't even admit when your favorite fighter does anything. Y'all can't even admit that part. Y'all was sitting up there telling me all about chasing the bag, chasing greatness, and all of this stuff, Dean. They're getting the most money on the card. Dean, it's a co-main and all of this craziness, right? And the biggest thing is that for everybody is you would do it and so would I. How can I, in good conscience and good faith, really sit up here and criticize a man for doing something besides saying he a duck and that I don't like this fight at all, but tell him not to take millions of dollars to do it, upwards of that, whatever that number is. I don't even want to put a number on it because we don't know the number, but whatever that number is, I'm pretty sure it's more than whatever he normally gets, which is already a high payday. How can I tell him not to do something that I would do, that you would do, that your favorite fighter? There is not a fighter in boxing, not one, that deemed me that I believe would not do it. Not one. I think they are a liar. I think they are lying and they are capping. And then it come to find out that Gervonta Davis, he says that he's not retiring. Because somebody said this in the comments from one of his comments, and they quoted Gervonta Davis. So I guess this officially means that you're going to retire, whatever, what else they said. And Tate said, no, I'm just talking about that's what I'm going to do for that night. Which basically was saying, no, I'm not retiring. I'm just getting the bag and going dip out. Because he was asked about retiring. So, me personally knowing that, and then I'm hearing that Lamont got step aside money, whatever. I don't just run with whatever I hear as soon as I hear it. That's just not how I get down. But if Tank's not retiring, and then he fights Lamont Roach, let's say the beginning of the year, because they said that fight would be November. So let's say winter time, spring. And then he fights somebody else, and you name the fighter. It doesn't really matter at that point. Because we got to see what things gonna happen by that 6 months. A lot of things could change. People could be hurt. Somebody could lose, fall out, get arrested. Like who knows, right? How can I, in good faith, sit up there and tell him to not do something that I would do? I would be being a hypocrite, and so would you. And so would every other boxer that sit up there and say that they won't. They going to Turkey to hold hands for less. They holding a grown man hand for less, much less, I might add. Much less. I might add. See, that's where we a little different because y'all can't just sit up there and say, damn, my fighter ducked this person, or my fighter did this, or my fighter ain't, he ain't moved the right way. Y'all got to defend. They ain't did nothing in your eyes. They ain't did nothing. And that's the difference. But for people that want to act like we supposed to go into hiding or like cry under the bed because he's about to have the biggest fight of the year, whether you like it or not, no. I'm not going to jump ship and bandwagon jump because he's fighting Jake Paul. I would do that if I believe that 99.9, because they don't let you go all the way to 100%. If 99.9% of boxers wouldn't do it, then maybe I'll be like, oh man. And then if he was retiring and I thought he actually was going to retire after this, then maybe I definitely would be even more disappointed than I am now. For sure. But I don't believe either of the two is happening. Don't think that Tank is retiring. That's number one. I don't not think that he's going to fight one of these guys, whoever that is. A fight that we want to see is going to be coming up pretty soon. Especially from what everybody be saying about how much backlash he's supposedly supposed to be going to get for this. Which don't all the way make sense because he's going to be a bigger star after this, not less of a star. I don't see, like, that's what he should be focused on. Forget at me as the fan, what I feel. As long as you ain't retiring on Jake Paul, because I didn't even know Gervonta Davis was going to fight for the rest of the year. That's number one. I wasn't even sure of that part. So are you going to fight Jake Paul? Because when I'm hearing and when it had to be that this was already in the plans, and this is why Gervonta Davis said that Lamont Roach wasn't going to be next right after the fight. But we all just dismissed that, myself included. But he said that. So, but my thing is when it comes to Gervonta Davis and him doing that, yes, he ducked Lamont Roach to fight Jake Paul. Absolutely he did. 100%. Until further notice, until I know for sure that he's definitely not retiring, and then we hear about him and Lamont fighting and it get announced or whatever that situation may be. Cool. But until that point, he is ducking Lamont Roach. Until we get to that point. I got no problem saying that. I'm not even going to watch the fight. I don't watch Jake Paul fights for real. I did watch some of the and not saying I don't watch the whole event. It's just that when Jake Paul fights, I'm not like, like that's the time to go out, go outside and do the thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's not nothing I'm sitting at the TV like, I gotta watch this. Like I didn't do it with Floyd. The last fight I watched like that was Floyd and McGregor. I'm cool. Just me personally, I'm cool off that. I seen what AJ did to Francis, but I wasn't like that. Like, come on, like that's supposed to happen. So that's my personal opinion, though. But I can't expect Gervonta Davis to care about Dean's personal opinion, who ain't got nowhere near this. Not close. I know I would do it. I'd do it for much less. I'll fight Jake Paul for much less than that. So I would be a flaming hypocrite if I thought I wouldn't do it. Two, if I actually thought no other boxer would do it. Three, if I actually thought he was retiring. I don't think none of that's like accurate. And what he tweeted the girl last night, he could just be playing, not playing. But I'm tired of even thinking he playing. He said what he said. Listen. So, but I be honest though, anyway, without Tank saying that yesterday, I never thought he was retiring anyway. Y'all know I'm one of the people that never thought that even when people was running with that saying that I never ever jumped on that side. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe nobody turning down that much money to beat people up. I just don't believe that. Gervonta Davis is going to get bored. I know he keeps saying that he won't retire. Let me tell you this, my guy. You could be going for a year or two, and you're going to miss it, my guy. Best believe that. You never know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. All we got is history to say that boxers say this and then don't mean it time after time after time after time. Gervonta Davis is a not first fighter that was around 30 that was saying these things. He is not. He's one of many, to be honest. So I guess people want us to go like I'm supposed to be like hurt or like, bro, I can't not tell another grown man not to get 50, 60 million. If Devin wanted to fight Jake Paul for 60, and like I couldn't in logical mind, as long as Devin fans could admit that he's ducking whoever it was at the time to do it until further notice, I would have no issue with that. Devin fans wouldn't do that though. They'll find some way to say he's not ducking and take the fight. That's the difference between me and y'all, the ones that don't support and all of that stuff. That's the biggest difference right there. It's the smartest duck in history. I'm ducking for 50, 60 mil. I ain't even go to the 100 mil. He could be getting that. I ain't even going to the high end. I'm going at what I think is the absolute lowest he would do this for. 50 mil. Listen here, man. I'm going to just be real with you, gang. I'm doing it. I know I'm doing it. I wouldn't care what y'all say. Listen, bro. I can't in my right mind tell somebody to not do something I would do, especially somebody who comes from where I come from. Especially somebody who comes from where I come from. I can't in right mind tell him to not do that. I can't do it. That's me personally. And then everybody that I ask, even the people that's criticizing that I ask them, would you do it? They all say yes. So it's like I'm kind of confused. Can you name me a boxer you don't think would do it? Even though they all said that they would do it. See, this is my problem with people. Say that the fight trash. Have no problem with that. Say he ducking Lamont Roach. I ain't got no problem with that. But also say, I would do it too, and I think every other boxer would too. The smartest duck in history. That's why I said that. The reason why I call it the smartest duck in history, because it's the only duck that everybody would do. And you can get in the comments and lie and deem by any means comments and act like you wouldn't do it. And I know you are a liar. So please expose yourself. Because can't none of you convince me that y'all would. And can't none of you convince me that your favorite fighter wouldn't. Because let's be honest, people duck. People do things in boxing for less. Much less. They go over there and hold turkey in. For not even 5 times that. That's the truth. Y'all already know what this is, though, right? Deem by any means. And I holla at y'all.